Okay, so I am up here on Parramatta Road, just got the coffee there, and I'll just go and sit down. But as you can see, we've got a little bit of a patrol force operating up here tonight around me. Very obvious. See how those two fellas are standing there with two cars? Just they've been standing there for about 15-20 minutes now because I've been here for a bit. I had a bit of coffee and see, this is the Matrix. Look, I must apologise for the video yesterday where I used swearing language, but don't forget that if you hear a lot of swearing from people around you, you will use it. But then again, if you get really, really angry, it's almost normal to swear. See how they're just going to stand there looking at me, almost looking at me. But that's the Matrix, you see. But I don't even know. I just can't even say it or explain it really. But see, we've got the headlights. The headlights on these cars coming up here. I almost feel as though someone else is talking rather than myself. I can almost hear my voice vibrating in my ears like in some sort of, I don't know, as though it's being relayed back to me, but it sounds almost monotone. Is that the right word? Where you're saying something and you can almost get so defeated that you go into where, yes, you just repetitively, someone beeped their horn when I said that. See, there's one coming up on the corner there with the lights too. Can you see that? Stopping there right in front. The minute I looked there, see how he stopped? Instead of even coming round, he stopped and pulled in on the corner there, see? And those two are still there. Of course, they'll probably pretend that they're, well, they don't have to pretend. Well, now he's just pulled out. I don't know where that comes from. And there's another car there with its lights on right in front there too. See how there's that one light? That won't come out on the video, but you've actually got a couple of cars there that have got their lights on down that dark street, where there's, where you wouldn't normally get cars parking there. When I say normal, I mean before the Matrix exposed itself. See how that car up there in the distance? See the bus with its red allegiance on the back? See that car pulling there with the red lights? Can you see it? It's not going to come out on video, but see, it just pulled out the minute my eyesight went onto it. See, this is where they've got all these cars, they've got them piled up here, lined up here tonight, because they knew that I would come out here for the video. And actually, they're hoping that they will sidetrack me onto the car Matrix. Yes, I think that's probably what they're doing. So maybe I will see this one will pull round straight in front the minute I look. See how it goes into your eyes? When I say into your eyes, I mean where your eyesight goes. See, that looks normal because I'm filming. But in reality, everywhere my eyes look, the Matrix patrolling force, see, it went round the corner there when I looked up there, but I didn't film that, but my eyes went there. I was looking, but I had the camera here on the road. See how the minute my eyes went to that corner, that car come round. See, even I'm not getting it half the time, but it's reality that they're one step ahead of you, because the minute your eyes go, they're ready to come right round. How do they do that? How can they be so quick? That's an interesting point. It baffles me a bit. See, they're still standing there opposite. Are they coming out, those two men? Standing there in the white t-shirts. Can you see them next to that white car? They're just going to stand there and watch me, and I can actually see them from here too. So that means they watch me the whole time while I'm sitting here having the coffee. Because actually, as you can see, it's rained. So I come up here just when the rain stopped. I had to wait for the rain to stop. That's why the road is wet, but it makes it pretty. Makes it pretty for the video, I think, when it's wet road. But apart from that, not so pretty. But I don't enjoy the prettiness because actually, in the past, if I was trying to take a photo or something, oh, look, it doesn't matter. See, the minute I look down there is a car with its headlights on. That will not come out in the video. There is a fella going to cross right in front of my line of sight too on the road. That will not come out in the video either, but I will show you. If I come down here, I might get it in, but it's still in my line of sight. So in other words, I see it. You can't. That's why I say Matrix can't be shown or filmed 100%. You can only show a very little bit. See how there is someone going to cross right in front of me there? He's standing in the middle of the road, and he will cross. Not sure why he's waiting so long to cross. But maybe that's to stall me for time, I think. That's to stall me for time, yeah. That's to stall. See, I'm waking up to this, mate. That's to stall me for time. Because they know that I want to say some stuff on the video, but instead the Matrix is getting me to film them. That's right, to film them and their cars and their thing. I'm sitting up here. Yeah. Okay, there's the coffee. Oh. And they know that my relative will be along fairly soon, and then the video will be interrupted or somehow diverted or spoiled or whatever you want to say, because certainly it won't go as I would intend it to go. Also, you won't have you will appear to have a logical conversation, but you will find that the Matrix ones will control the conversation. Even you'll be lucky if you can put some logic into it. You will try, but also if you become too logical, then you will, then you will get an aggressiveness too. So you can't really just interact with the programs, because there's, if you're possessed, that being that's inside of a possessed person will know what you're thinking, and they will know what you're trying to prove, or what you're trying to explain, or what you're trying to accomplish, or what you're trying to just say, to where you will look reasonable, and they will try to make it look as though they are the reasonable real person and you are out of touch and unreasonable and causing a problem. That's how this game works in the Matrix. It happens with everyone around you. And that's how it is. And you can even see it being played against you, right in front of your eyes, but sometimes you're powerless to divert the conversation to where you look remotely sensible or reasonable, much less that that you are surrounded by very negative artificial forces that are. See, those two men are still standing there. See how long they will stand there. They're just standing right in front of me, watching me, so that I can't concentrate, or because they're like, oh, she's trying to connect tonight, so we have to come up and even be more obvious. Like normally you just get people walking past and you get the cars and things, but you rarely get them standing for a really long time right in front of you. They might lurk for a little bit, but usually then they'll move along. These two are going to stand there for the whole time. They can see that I've got the camera up too. They know what I'm saying, what I'm doing, and it doesn't matter. I think they're now going. Yeah, the minute I said that, they shook hands and now they're actually going. But see, they've accomplished wasting time. This is a waste of time, a waste of my energy and time. And I'm sounding aggressive, whereas, they will pull out now. But, if it doesn't. See, I just wanted to make a more one-on-one video, but instead now I'm showing the Matrix because it is taking me over. This traffic, even though it may not seem like that, it is it's not as loud to me as what it really is because I have got stuff in my ears, but it will get louder if it wants to. If it feels that I'm getting on top of it or feeling not too bad, it will get louder. Also, when my relative arrives, it will get extra loud to, to disrupt the conversation so that there's more aggressiveness taking place. Not that the traffic always needs to do that, but certainly it is a contributing factor because I think the vibration and how because it's still an interaction. I'm not sure how, see, they pulled out, so they were pulled out. There was no reason for any of those cars to be pulled in there because they didn't do anything. They just sat in their cars and just stood and looked at themselves. But, it's just provocation, intimidation. They know that I'm not going to say anything or do anything. It's really just secret intimidation because, I'm the only one that sees it or is bothered by it. But at any rate, I've lost my whole thing now, see, and I can't even hold the mobile properly. I'll try to hold it. I think I could do, hold on. I think I could be affecting the sound there. I hope I didn't press the sound knob down because that often happens because I'm not able to be delicate with the mobile because I've got gloves and things on. So these mobiles are designed for people that are very technically with their fingers. They're using their fingers on the mobile. Like some people can type really fast, shall we say, it's like that. Whereas I only use it mainly for making this video. I did have the Skype, but that was a bit of a lifeline, but that lifeline now seems to have been stopped temporarily, I hope, only. And there's a file cabinet that they've left just up the top there. A filing cabinet that they've left up the top there. I didn't know it was a filing cabinet. See how the traffic's starting to get louder when I start to talk because they think I'm talking to someone? They think I'm actually making contact. They don't want me to sound the way that is pleasant so that someone will think that I'm a real person. They want me to be loud, aggressive, and, that's how it works. And so only the very few will actually recognise their own kind, really. If it was person to person, it probably would be easy. The technology makes it harder to make a proper contact. Because it's like watching a screen. It's not the same as, you don't get the vibration through the screen. You only get the verbal. And the verbal may or may not represent what you really want to say. And that's why I was going to use the songs to say what I think, or at least how I feel about things, and I do think there is merit to it now. Only today I got a little bit of a new idea, or a new insight, shall we say, into the matrix regarding myself personally, because most of it's personal anyway, see how they'll start to come on just a little bit thicker and a little bit louder, and they'll even bring trucks and buses if I start to get on a roll. And the wet road too, they make the wet road. Because it rained just before I was ready to go out, just as soon as I wasn't, that often happens, just straight away as soon as I was about to within 5 minutes of going outside the door, I was, but anyway, I forget about all that. See, that's like, where was I? Oh, right, that's good, the light went out. I'm glad the light went out. Oh, okay, recently, apart from the Matrix, if I lose the picture, I like move it away, sorry, because I'm trying to concentrate on what I'm saying. As opposed to the Matrix taking me into its matrix with the traffic. So that traffic is trying to lure me into concentrating on it because my eyes naturally will see it. My ears will pick up at least some of it. I don't think I've got the stuff in my ears too tight, so I will pick up most of it, I think. So I'll get sidetracked. And, but. Yeah, the Skype is not, the lifeline of the Skype or using that has been temporarily taken, even though when it was there, it wasn't used for interaction, or at least over the last couple of weeks anyway, since so I think that that also is that's just a precaution on part of the Matrix, because they know that at some point two people will connect, even if it's only temporarily. And they're always thinking that if they connect correctly, or where they get on, and actually dismiss their prejudices, shall we say. When I say that, I mean because when you have, like, in other words, dismiss that you aren't making direct contact at a true feeling level where in other words, you're not really expressing what you really think or feel in the moment while you're interacting. You're not able to do that. You might be reluctant to, you might think it's not appropriate, you might think that it's too soon. I'm not sure how soon too soon is, like, they do say that, I made a video yesterday and I deleted it because it was very personal, and I'm almost sorry now because I may have made more sense yesterday. But I deleted it because, and then my son come along, and, it just, you think that when you're interacting on a video that it has to make more sense, that you have to come across as more believable, shall we say, as opposed to if you are talking to someone directly. Those of you that aren't part of this personal conversation, which will probably be stopped, just observe how when I start to, because you can't read my mind, so you don't know that I'm about to say something that might be personal, and then they will send an extra few cars to come past, or an extra light, or an extra one pulling in, like in my line of sight just over there, which won't come out on the video, to where I'm temporarily distracted. Because they know that I think and feel certain things all the time, apart from when I make a video. But when you come to make a video, you're making a video, so it puts that pressure on you to where you can't just think. But don't forget that every bit of your thinking is then going to the Matrix and downloaded to these Matrix artificial android, machine people, that are inhabiting the human body. But that's putting it in a very blunt way. But because all I can say is that if you are living through real human beings, downloading their thinking, their feelings, their emotions, and have none of your own, or at least your own are all negative, so you're see how that car pulled in front and then just pulled away? Is that not an obvious patrolling vehicle? Did you see that? Just wind it back and see for yourself. Who pulls in for 1 or 2 seconds on a main road and then just pulls out? That's right in front of me, right in my line of sight, you see. But anyway, see, I'm still trying to show a matrix while I'm trying to have a conversation here, so it's ridiculous. It's silly, I know. And I should just close my eyes and not look at the traffic, but I do want to see when a relative comes too, because I don't want to be caught in more trouble than what I already get into. I tell you, that traffic there's no trucks and not many buses, but that traffic is still really actually getting me when I look at it on the side there. I can't hold the mobile properly. Keep going to the truck. Okay, so where was it? Hold on. Okay. Yeah, so there's a filing cabinet. They've left a filing cabinet. This is for you, Mr. Sean Thomas Yearwood. They've left a filing cabinet just up on the corner there, just outside the 7-Eleven for me. A big filing cabinet. I didn't know what it was. It's been there for a few days. And today I took a look at the front of it, and it's a filing cabinet. And they put it out there next to the garbage chute. Does that mean that someone's put their filing cabinet out with the garbage and they're no longer going to keep files? Or does it mean that the filing cabinet is full and so they're throwing me out with the rubbish? I'm not sure. I do. I don't think that's likely that, I don't think that's likely. Because I think that real people actually, will realise. But it is hard because the Matrix will do everything it can to convince you that you're on the wrong track, that you're talking to the wrong people, and that, it will do that because it will also make me make mistakes or not be reliable. Because we're not very reliable either. I admit that. Because the Matrix can wind me round its finger. The Matrix can sidetrack me. The Matrix can create situations that divert your attention, take your time, and your own foibles, your own past foibles. So, look up that word, I suppose. It just means your own faults, really, I suppose. They may not be normal faults. They may be like, faults that you don't have much control over, that you should have control over, of course. So there again, we can be our own worst enemy, as the saying goes too. And the Matrix laps that up and plays on it and uses it. So we have to make a lot of allowances for one another at this time. And just how much we can do that will depend on, what feelings we have, I suppose. I know that I've, been very, directed to walk away on occasions and to, But walking away from something that's right will cause you more grief than if you face it, I think. That's what I think anyway. That's what I found, my own personal thing. I'm not saying that if you could do it for a long period of time, they do say time heals all wounds, but we may not have time anyway. We have some time, but we may not have a lot of time. Maybe you're not meant to do it. I don't think I'm meant to do it, but I've still done it. I've done it on occasion. Because you're going against what you really want to do. You go against what you want to do and what you want and what you feel is right or feel is for you. You're not really serving yourself, you're serving the matrix, really. And when you see all the opposition they put against, in situations that they create so that people can't connect, at a physical level even, that makes you more aware that you're meant to, not go along with that. You're meant to try to, override those obstacles. How you do it, I don't know. I'm not saying, it's easy to give advice, it's easy to talk. I don't even follow my own advice half the time. You see how that house is pulled in there with the red lights? Can you see that? See? I can see it. All I can see is 3 red tail lights out the corner of my eye. Now he's pulled out as soon as I said that. Did you see that? Doesn't matter. That's just to distract me from the video once again, because they know that I had a few direct things that I wanted to try to say. I'm just so exhausted here. I can think, but putting it into words even is an effort, because you can think something, but you can't say it directly from your thoughts to the verbalising of it. Do you know what I mean? That's you see. So, okay, so yesterday I got, I'm just going to have to use a song. I feel a bit funny using songs as an expression of myself, but at the same time, I'm now realising that there may be more merit to it than what I realised, because, as I've said before, there's songs sung by your demigod idols of the Matrix or of this earth, if you want to just even use it at a real level. They download human thinking. When I say download, that means they take the human thinking and feelings into their computer mind. Because they have a computer mind. They have a survival computer mind. When I say survival, because computers are only about keeping their own computer going. I can't even explain that. But they're using, and I got this from someone else, even though they didn't relate it to human beings and possession and this matrix. They just said that parasites can invade, like parasites, like physical parasites that we accept to be normal, like worms and things like that, which we call a parasite. They can invade the human body and even invade the human mind, and they take over the mind and the body. And they can actually do that. This is what I was told even by a relative, at a parasitic, small level. But I think that what some people probably might not realise is that this is all part of trying to take over the human mind and the human body. Because we're in a physical matrix, even though it is really a technical domain, but it's physical and technical in its basis, just like these cars are material cars, and I am going over my own head and my own comprehension in what I'm saying here, so I'm trying to just get the gist of it myself as I say it, but you know, it's a spiritual tug of war between the spiritual natural being and the technical physical machine matrix beings. But we're all in the same physicality. But their aim is to take over your mind. You know, they've been taking over our body for a long time. You know, so we're limited at that physical level even while we're here, you know. But their main aim is to take over your mind while you're here, so you stay in their physical matrix. And then they have possession of your mind and all your things that are of benefit to them. They think that it will give them more time, stop them from going extinct, you see. I think that's what it's about. But I'm not 100% sure how they do it, of course. But it's because human beings are spiritual. When I say human beings, at least the other kind. There's two kinds on the earth. Probably more than two kinds if you want to be perhaps more correct about it. But I'm not sure of that because I don't know the exact numbers. I've said before many times that even if this was a real physical, natural reality, 100%, but we just had human beings like that are psychopathic in nature, and they've gradually expanded or multiplied because of the circumstances, because of the environment. The psychopathic personality type, or the narcissistic psychopathic personality type, has become prominent, has become the majority, or more than the majority, say. This is what I thought originally when I first made a video. And because of that, and because they are negative to their own kind, and see every other of their kind as a threat or as something to be competed with and overtaken and overpowered, you know, to where they have to be better. That's essentially the psychopathic mindset. They have to have all the power, they have to be number one, shall we say. But they're not, of course. They're a false number one. They're not like a real human being where you will openly acknowledge if someone is number one, if they're a human being, if you know they're real. That is part of the game. But what I'm saying is, even if you had that real reality, that natural world, which we don't have, of course, but if we did, you would still have the same result, where human beings, the few human beings that are left, that are not a narcissistic psychopathic personality type, and who are just a normal human being with good and bad possibilities, and you know, but essentially you want to be positive because you want to be content, and you know that being negative and angry all the time and destructive doesn't really make you feel positive or good. Whereas if you are a psychopathic type, bringing others down and being angry and getting the anger out of them makes you feel more powerful and actually better. Temporarily, I believe it's a temporary thing. They have to do it all the time because it's like a fix. It's like a fix of a drug. It only lasts for a bit of time and then they've got to go and get another fix of it. That's the problem. So it never lasts. Whereas human beings, you know, if you're more positive, you know, and provided you haven't got negative people around you, narcissistic psychopaths all around you, which you do, but if you didn't, you wouldn't feel negative even when you're not, say, enjoying something that is really pleasurable. In other words, something that's really pleasurable and positive that makes you feel good. You still wouldn't feel like at rock bottom and really angry and negative. But they feel that way all the time. They've embraced that. And they don't like positive energy. It makes them feel bad to see someone else living normally. Upsets their mind. And so they have to get rid of it or bring it down or limit it, suppress it, whatever they're capable of doing, whatever they can get away with without causing, them to be, in trouble, shall we say, in this matrix, because we still live in a false earth, or earth that has rules and ideas that everyone is really a normal human being, and that you don't want, there's penalties if you try to destroy things or hurt things, or even disobey the rules where they think it may be, that's the world we live in. Of course, it really is the opposite. It's not the opposite to that, it's like that, except that it's all technical and much more extreme. And that all the positive thing is only there to trick the human being in this time into thinking that most of what around them is the same as them. A normal human being with positive and negative points, or positive and negative nature. Because you've seen me explode when you push to the limit. It takes quite a bit to get me to get really, really angry to where I will physically do things. That's when, I will say that. But that's why the matrix comes down harder. If you're more of a naturally calmer person that that has been trained since day one to be a people pleaser and should kind of not express yourself too much if it rocks the boat, shall we say. Then they have to try a lot harder and bring the matrix. That's when the matrix opens up and comes down on a few people, because they know that they have to do that with some people in order to get the negative energy. Because there's my son's just come in, so there should be some. Unfortunately, I'll have to fold up. I think there might be some negative energy otherwise. Fold up because I don't want any more negative language. I didn't get to say what I want to say, so I'll have to make a video. Hopefully I might actually get the chance to personally interact instead of making a video, so I'll fold up because